everybody. So it is now Thursday. Sadly, I'm just wearing the same clothes. My goodness. No, I'm just recording everything in one day. So here we go. It's Thursday. Yesterday, our lesson was about multiplying one equation by a number. And then we were able to cancel either the x's out or we were able to cancel out the y's. So today, on Thursday, we are going to work on lesson 4.3c. And our task today is going to be to multiply both equations by a different number because I'm going to have to multiply to get my x's to match, and then my y's could also have to match. So I'm picking either x or I'm picking y and deciding which variable to focus on. So over here on my examples, underneath the word examples, I need you to write, decide to focus on my x or my y. I'm either going to get my x's to be both of the same number or I'm going to get my y to be both the same number. Next, multiply both equations by different numbers to make your chosen variable the same. I need to make my chosen variable the same. So let's start off and let's do example number 1 on your notes page. I have negative 4x plus 3y equals negative 10, and I have negative 3x minus 4y equals 5. So make sure that this is negative 3x on your paper as well. All right, here we go. So I need to decide, should I make both of these x's into a bigger number? Well, what do 4 and 3 go into? What bigger number do 4 and 3 go into? Sometimes it's easy to just multiply those two numbers by themselves, by each other, to figure out what the multiple is going to be. So they both go into 12, right? So I could make them both 12s. Also here, 3 and 4. Ooh, these have opposite signs. That's good, because that means that they're already set up to cancel as long as I make them both 12s. So I'm thinking that I want to make the y's both 12s. So here we go. My positive 3 needs to become a positive 12. My negative 4 needs to become a negative 12. So what should I multiply 3 by to get 12? 3 times what is 12? So I'm hoping you said 4. Okay. Then before I even do that, what am I going to multiply a 4 by to make this into a 12? So again, I'm hoping that you're thinking 4 times 3 is 12. So I'm multiplying the entire top equation by a 4, and then I'm multiplying the entire bottom equation by 3. This is the multiply both equations by different numbers to make your chosen variable the same. I chose y, so I'm going to make both of my y's into 12, positive 12 and negative 12. So I want you, because we've done this so many times before, distribute and get your two new equations. Go ahead. Hi. All right. So you multiplied distributive property, and I got top equation and bottom equation. Now my y's are both the same. My y's are also opposite signs. So now I can add, so negative 16 plus negative 9. Negative 25x, yes. Negative 40 plus 15. Oh, nice. So I do what? Get x alone. My x value is positive 1. So now 1 comma, I don't know my y. So here's my steps. Multiplied my top equation by 4. Multiplied my bottom equation by 3. Write your two new equations. Add and cancel out a variable. Great, that's exactly where I'm at. So now step number 4 is going to have to be plug in my 1 for x. Okay, good. Looks good. And then I will, if I know what x is, I need to solve for y, right? Good. So which equation from your original two, the ones that are typed on your paper, which equation do you want to plug this 1 into? Doesn't matter. You can pick the top, you can pick the bottom, you're going to get the same value for y. I'm going to pick the bottom equation. Negative 3x, x is 1, right? Oh, there. X is 1. Minus 4y equals 5. Good. So, negative 3 minus 4y equals 5. Add 3. Negative 4y equals 5 plus 3, 8. Get y alone, isolate the variable, perform the inverse operation, divide both sides by negative 4. My y is negative 2. The ordered pair for this system, the solution to this system is 1 comma negative 2. X is 1, y is negative 2. Awesome. So now we're going to move on and we're going to do example 2 on your worksheet. So here's example 2. Now, the hardest thing to remember is, well, the most difficult thing for students to grasp with this concept is knowing what do I multiply by. So the first thing we do is look at my x values. Can I make both of those the same number? Do 3 and 2 have a number that they both go into? 6, right? 6. 4 and 3. Do 4 and 3 have a number that they both go into? 12, right? So the thing that would be easier for me is if the signs were opposite, because if the signs are opposite, then I don't have to multiply by a negative something to change the signs. So right now, I'm going to focus on the numbers that have the opposite signs. That's the x's. 3 and 2, they both, we just said, can become 6, right? So here we go. The 3 times what makes 6? Well, 3 times 2 would be 6. How would I make negative 2 into a 6? Well, I want to make it to a negative 6, don't I? Negative 2 times a positive 3. So, same thing as last problem. I want you to distribute the 2 to the top equation. I want you to distribute the 3 to the bottom equation and write 2 new equations. So press pause on your video and do that math now. All right, hopefully you got what I got. 6x plus 8y equals negative 8. Negative 6x plus 9y equals negative 9. My x's are now both the same number with opposite signs, so I'm going to add this system. My x is going to cancel out. 8 plus 9, 17. Negative 8 plus negative 9, negative 17. Nice, easy. They're not always this easy, but I got 1 in my last problem and I got a 1 for this one, so it's just helpful when the numbers are easy. So I know that y is negative 1. I don't know what my x is. Since I don't know what my x is, I use the information I just found. I just found that y was negative 1. I'm going to use this negative 1 and I'm going to plug it into one of my original, the equations that are typed up here, one of my original equations. So again, it doesn't matter, top or bottom, pick whichever one's easiest for you. Last time I picked the bottom one, so maybe I'll pick the top one this time. 3x plus 4y equals negative 4. Okay, so what I did on my steps is I plugged in negative 1 for y, and then I solved for x. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to solve for x. 3x minus 4 equals negative 4. Get the 4's together. They are like terms. Add 4 to both sides. 3x equals 0. I can still do this. This is not no solution. This is not infinite solutions. I just have a 0 on one side of my equation. It's fine. Still follow the same steps. Divide by 3 both sides, x equals 0. So my solution to my system is 0, negative 1. Can you please turn to example 5 on the back side? Here it is. My job is to get the x's the same or get the y's the same, and it's completely up to you. So when I'm looking at it, I would love it if I had opposite signs. The x, they have opposite signs. The y's, they have opposite signs. So now here's your task. Should I make both of the x's a 12, right? 3 and 4 go to 12. Or should I make both of the y's a 5 and 4, 20? 20, yep. Or should I make both of them a 20? It's your choice. It doesn't matter. You will get the same answer. And so it's really a personal preference thing. I think that making the numbers, the x's a 12 would be easier because the numbers will be smaller. So that means that I'm going to figure out, how do I make a positive 3 into a positive 12? 3 times what is 12? 4. How do I make a 4 into a 12? Negative 4 becomes a negative 12 by multiplying by 3. Okay, this is the part where you can do it on your own. Distribute, get your 2 new equations, and then add. So now I'm going to have you do one more step without me. Distribute, you'll get your 2 new equations right here. I want you to add them, and a variable is going to cancel out. The x is going to cancel out. So you will have y alone. Go ahead and do that now and press pause. Okay. Did you get this? Hope so. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So I'm going to divide by negative 8. And I'm now solving for y. It goes in evenly. 32 divided by negative 8, negative 4. So I'm halfway done. Awesome. So let's kind of write down the steps because I don't want to forget to do that. I'm going to multiply the top equation by a 4. I ended up multiplying the bottom equation by a 3. I wrote my 2 new equations, add, and I canceled out the x, canceled out this time. I'm going to plug in negative 4 for y, and then that means that I'm solving for x. Let's do it. Whatever equation looks easiest to you, you go back to your originals, and I pick, the bottom equation. Really, it's whatever you want. Negative 4x plus 4y. Y is negative 4, right? Equals 4. Lots of 4's going on here. Woo! Negative 4, I want it to be black, sorry. Minus 16 equals just positive 4. Add 16 to both sides. Negative 4x equals 20. We're good with that? Divide both sides by negative 4. X equals negative 5. 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. So my solution to number 5 is negative 5 comma negative 4. X comma y. All right, so this is the end of our lesson 4.3c. Thursday. Today is Thursday. So your homework is actually going to be on Go Formative tonight. And there is a link. So make sure that you look in Google Classroom and you find that link and you will click on it. And there are just a few problems for you to practice. They're like this. You're going to have to multiply one equation by something and then the second equation by something. And what you will end up with was a variable that's going to cancel. Okay? I will see you tomorrow on Friday. And on Friday, I'm going to be doing just a lesson that has me writing on a piece of paper. And then we have spring break. So I will see you tomorrow. You will hear me tomorrow. And I hope all is going well for you guys. Contact me if you have any questions. If something is confusing, post a comment. in this video or post a comment in Google Classroom in the comments section. All right? Good job today, guys. Bye.